feet in there. We'll do it nice and slow. And then just kind of guide your knees into the knee supports here.
My feet aren't flat and the toes are still up a little.
Size 12?
Yeah, my feet aren't that big, but
shoes are?
The shoes are a little bit tough sometimes.
Yep, no worries. Okay, so then essentially what I'm going to do is just loosen up these bars on each side. And that's just going to come through this hole on each side. Do the same thing over here.
And I wouldn't be super interested in something like this for bone density. It'd be more being able to do housework and things like that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, like, standing has a million different benefits, bone density, bowel movement, and even the psychological part. The part that we want to do with this is make it convenient and easy to be in the standing position, and not just in a stationary stand here where you're staring at a wall or a TV, but to actually like kind of live your life to an extent in something that's standing.
Yeah, I've been paralyzed for 14 years. I gave my standing frame away about 7 years ago.
Okay, so when's the last time you stood up?
7 years ago.
Okay. So it's going to be, you know, I mean, just be conscious of it. If you start feeling lightheaded or anything, we can lower you back down.
I won't want to be up very long. I'll
get
a bunch of broken blood vessel things in my feet.
Okay, yeah, I don't like people in this first time to be, you know, more than like 15 minutes. It's something you can build yourself up to where, you know, we'll have people work a full shift in it, in the standing position. But again, that's not day one. That's, you know, start with a short amount of time, but if at any point you start feeling
work up to how long?
Like a full 8-hour shift.
Oh wow.
Yeah. At any point though, if you start feeling like you have any issues with spasms or start feeling lightheaded or anything, let us know. We can bring you back down pretty quickly. So I'm just going to tighten this up on both sides, and you'll feel it start to kind of suck you up. And this is, we'll adjust it kind of as we go. And then we're going to have you lean forward just a little bit. And this is just an additional back support. Just Velcros on each side, right where your hands are. We'll do it nice and snug now, and then as you get up, your weight will shift, and you may feel like you want to adjust that.
Okay.
And tighten it up a little bit. Okay, so once we're kind of up to where we want to be, you can rest your hands right here, and when you're ready, you're just going to squeeze just this side. If at any point you want to stop, just let off and it'll stop, but that's going to stand you up.
Okay.
And you can go as high up or as whatever feels comfortable. And again, that's where your weight kind of shifts. So you can. Yeah, it is. The device itself weighs about 265 pounds. So if you're in it, you're not going to be able to tip it over by just leaning from one side to the other. So I'll tighten this up a little bit, but again, you can kind of do that, or if you want to tighten the strap right behind you, pushing those buttons right there will do that. So you're up, and if you squeeze this side, it's going to lower you back down. So if you don't want to feel, you know, as upright, like if maybe it doesn't, sometimes, you know, in different positions it might feel a little more comfortable, you can go ahead and lower yourself back down to whatever feels comfortable. Now if you feel comfortable, it's a proportional joystick, so if you want to actually take it for a little spin, but it's got speed controls. I start people out slow to get used to it. But the harder you push, the faster it'll go. So you can go ahead and, yep. Yeah, so the MSRP on the base device is $19,000. We sell through distributors because they know all the different programs and everything that can assist with any of those costs.
I almost feel like I need something.
Well, this is a demo model, so it's not, one of the things we'll do is measure you. So this would actually be sitting right about here.
Oh,
So it's not set up for your height, it's set up for just kind of ballpark in the middle.
okay.
So yeah, so if you were actually in it, it would be probably right about there. Kind of just where your xiphoid is where, so it would feel a little more stable on your upper body. Keeps, you know, and the handlebars, all of it's adjustable.
T4.
Yeah.
So I'm a marshmallow to there.
Yeah, yeah. And so we have, I mean, we have some T2s even that use it, but yeah, it's definitely short for you in the demo model, but to adjust it, it's kind of a series of taking things apart, so we just have the demo kind of in the middle. So if you're 4'6", it's going to be a little tall for you, and if you're 6 foot, it's going to be a little short for you, but just to give you the ballpark of what it feels like to be in it.
Utah company?
Yeah. Yeah, so here in Salt Lake, kind of out by the airport where our headquarters is and stuff, so.
Right on. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a different feeling to be standing up and mobile.
And then just back up till I hit the.
Yeah, well, we can actually, you don't have to be good at driving backwards. We can just bring the bench to you. That's the other part of why I like the bench.
One day I would think that I won't have somebody to bring the bench.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to practice, you're welcome to.
I was just curious how far back.
So on this bench, and you get a feel for it, like if you're going to a bed, you go all the way back. If you're going to like a shallower kitchen chair, you may not go, if you see you got about like a 4-inch gap, you may not go all the way back, depending on kind of what you're backing up to. But it's just
slowly go back until I hit it and then ease off a couple of
yeah, and as you go back, you can drive it forward if you're like, oh, I went too far back and it's a kitchen chair and I'm not, where I want to be. You could always drive it forward at this point or drive it back to get kind of where you wanted to get to.
Close with it still move.
Yeah, yep. So you can do those kind of small adjustments as you're going if you wanted to, for sure. So you'll kind of go, all the way down, and then you're welcome to adjust it. There's a back behind you, so if you kind of sink back, you won't fall. And then what we'll do is just loosen these up, and you'll feel yourself kind of sink down into the bench.
Okay.
And we'll go to the point that we can just pull these out on each side. And then one of the other nice features, putting that in your pocket. I'm just gonna tighten it up so I'm not whacking you in the knee with a big metal rod.
What does this do?
So this turns on and off those belts.
Oh.
So if you didn't want to, accidentally push these buttons, this one turns on and off the remote control, which I'll show you. So you're completely free from it. So I'm going to drive it forward a little bit. And then as we get your feet out, I'll kind of show you the remote control part too. That's where, I got size 12 as well, so it's like, fits it pretty comfortably, but much bigger on the feet, and it starts to stick.
In my previous life, I wore a 10.5, but those are really hard to get on now.
Yeah, I bought some shoes once that were 13, and they're like the most comfortable shoes I ever owned, and I'm like, I swear I'm not that big on the feet, but. All right, so once you, lowered yourself in, say you sat down at the kitchen table or whatever, you can actually use the remote to send it away. Or if you want to drive it up into the van or onto the back trailer hitch, you can use the remote to send it away and then bring it back when you're ready.
Oh.